All right, before we get to the categories, this is going to be the default. It's going to be the budget option for things like camping, hiking, bushcraft survival, that kind of thing. This is a Victorinox camper. It's a 91 millimeter, 3 layers. Show you what it's got. And whether you get these new or used, they're very cheap. Um, as a matter of fact, it's the cheapest Swiss Army knife you can get with a saw. And the back of this saw makes a great ferro rod striker. It's got the toothpick and the tweezers, corkscrew. This hiker is the same thing, except instead of the corkscrew, it's got the Phillips driver. So you got your can opener. It's a forward operating can opener. You got your bottle opener. And let's see what else. Small blade. Victorinox usually has a small blade. Um, and then there's the main blade. And you can use this corkscrew for things like untying knots. And then you have the reamer. There's no sewing eye. There's no hole, so it's just a reamer. It's not an awl. That's how you know this was made before the mid 80s. See, like this one does have the sewing eye. And if you're worried about using a used knife for stuff like survival, remember I'm not an expert there, but with survival, you're going to want to have a backup blade. As they say, two is one and one is none. Okay, and then for the default for those categories, if you want a Vanger, see this Vanger has the printed emblem, so it's like a economy model. But the Vanger, this is the backpacker, it's the competition for the Victorinox camper. So this reamer isn't sharp on the sides, but a lot of people have different uses for it. One of them is helping you untie knots. Vangers have a divot in the scales, so it's easy to access the reamer. The Victorinox reamers and awls are a lot better, but still there's some people that like the Vanger better. There's the Vanger can opener. It operates in reverse. It works better than the Victorinox can opener at opening cans. Bottle opener is about the same. Um, you got the saw, and again, the back of the saw makes a great ferro rod striker. And then, um, Vanger, a lot of Vangers have the nail file and fingernail cleaner at the tip. Victorinox has a few like that, but Vanger also has knives with a small blade. But it's more common for them to have a fingernail file. So what am I missing? You got the main blade, corkscrew. I think that's it. So that's a budget option. So there we are. Okay, let's get to these categories. Um, by the way, this Vanger is 84 millimeters. Most of the Vangers I'm showing you in this video are 84 millimeter. Okay, this is an 84 millimeter Vanger. This is the soft touch tactile Evo. It's got these ergonomic grips, plus it's made of rubber type stuff. So you're gonna, and did I say the categories for hiking? You don't want to drop your knife when you're climbing up a mountain or something. So this is good to have. You get a good grip on it. It helps when it's wet. You get a better grip than you would off a regular Swiss Army knife. With these Evos, you got your there's not a lot of these tactile models. I think there's only 4 of them. But with the Evos, you got the plain scales Evos, you got the wooden ones, you got these Evo grips with the rubbery grips. So let me show you this tactile soft touch Evo 17. You still got the divot and the reamer. This is the same thing as that backpacker I showed you. The only difference is it has scissors, and that's a Vanger. See, it's got the Vanger tweezers, Vanger toothpick. See the tweezers. Vanger tweezers and toothpick are kind of like out of sight, out of mind. You don't really notice them. They're still good quality. And then for camping, this is a Victorinox Evo. So it was originally a Vanger design, but Vanger absorbed into Victorinox in 2005. They made Vangers for about another 8 years. They stopped making most Vangers and kept some of them and called it the Delamont collection. So this is the same as that Evo I just showed you. This is the Evo 17 as well, but it's plain scales. It's got the locking blade, you hit this lever. It also has a half stop so you don't slam it on your fingers. But the main difference between a Delamont and a Vanger, a Victorinox Delamont and a regular Vanger, the difference is it's got the Victorinox can opener and the Victorinox awl. It also has the Victorinox toothpick and the Victorinox tweezers. All right, for Bushcraft, I wanted a wooden scales Victorinox Forester, which is a 111 millimeter model. But they cost more than what I wanted to pay, so I got this rucksack. It's the older version of the Forester, and they're both kind of like a camper. But anyway, so yeah, this was a slide lock model, so it had like this slide lock kind of deal here to unlock the blade, but I accidentally broke that when I was taking off the scale, so I just removed the whole assembly and put some newer generation scales on it. These have rubbery grips on it too. But yeah, you can do that. You can take off the slide lock assembly and just give it regular. Of course, the blade's not going to lock, but neither do 90% of Swiss Army knives. So yeah. Okay, from the corkscrew to this awl to the bottle opener and the can opener, they're all from the 91 millimeter knives. It's the same thing with those slide locks. That first generation of 111 millimeter Victorinox. They started in the mid 80s and they lasted until like 2017, and then those liner lock models started in the mid 90s and they're still making them today. So yeah, it's got the big blade. It's got the saw, big saw. So like, I guess if you were worried about the knife closing on you, I guess hold it like this so that the blade doesn't close in your fingers. Again, not an expert. That's just my recommendation. So what I did, because I wanted a wooden Forester, I saved a search on eBay for all Victorinox Foresters, not just wooden scales. And that way it notified me every time a Forester got posted. Eventually I saw one at a good price. I hit the like I gave it the listing a heart. So that way, hopefully the seller will send you, because you can do this, the seller will send you an offer and you can talk them down a little more or accept their offer. And that's what I did. That's how I got this Forester at a good price, talked them down and all that. It's got the heftier can opener. So real quick, see, compare the can openers, and then the bottle opener, I didn't mean can opener, the bottle opener actually locks, so you got to press the liner to unlock it. Oh, by the way, it still has the regular Victorinox 91 millimeter can opener. You don't need a bigger can opener to open bigger cans, but I wanted to show you the difference between a liner lock saw and a slide lock saw. The liner lock is a little more narrow, I would call it. And with all these, with the camper and the hiker and the Victorinox and the Vangers, the saw, you can cut a piece of wood that's a lot wider than the length of the saw. So making 3-inch ridge poles for your shelter, even with the 85 millimeter Vanger, that's not going to be a problem if you have patience. So yeah, it's got that main blade. It's got the half stop as well, so it won't slam on your hand. Probably forgetting some stuff. Oh, how about this? It's got the reamer instead of awl. There's no hole in it. I don't know why they did that with the liner lock models, but they did. And that was Bushcraft. So now for survival. Ranger Fieldcrafter Survival. The guy's name is Andrew, popular YouTube channel. He uses this Ranger Grip 78 Delamont. Except for his is green, and I think his blade is serrated. So yeah, you got your Phillips driver. This is kind of like a Victorinox hiker. It would be anyway. So yeah, this is a Delamont. We'll get to that in a minute. But instead of using this for survival, I would rather use this Vanger Mountaineer. It's a slide lock model, slide activated liner lock. How about that? I'd rather have this Mountaineer. It's a little smaller, so you'd have more room if you put it in your pocket. Plus, the original Rangers are very durable. So you got the Victorinox, or sorry, the Wenger can opener, big hefty bottle opener slash screwdriver. Got the big blade. It's a clip blade, whereas most Swiss Army knives, it's a drop point blade. And then you got that big saw. You could probably make some decent sized logs out of this, out of these big Rangers. Uh, so that way you could have some logs if you wanted to sleep for a while. You'd have some logs to last you a few hours to get some sleep. The original Rangers were built at a 120 millimeter, but they're more like 125 millimeter. The new Rangers are built at 130 millimeters, but if you don't count this keyring mount, they're like 127 millimeters. So the old ones and the new ones are about the same length. Um, this Mountaineer, Wenger Mountaineer, I wouldn't call this an awl, even though it has a sewing eye, because it's not sharp on the sides. You got that Phillips driver. No reason to bring that out. But if a coyote or a wild boar is going to attack you, I'd rather have this new Ranger. It's a Delamont because it's got these grips, so it's less likely to slip out of your hand. You definitely don't want your hand sliding up onto the blade. Um, you can open it one-handed, so if one hand is pinned or occupied, you can still open it. With these thumb holes like this, like, because this is called a one-handed Ranger, you can press into the thumb hole hard, and that will help you get to the point where you can open it up one-handed, because it forces you to brace this side, and you'll get better at it. But yeah, this has a Phillips driver. This is a Victorinox. This is a Delamont. So what they did was they took the Ranger Grip 78 and made it into a Victorinox because it was originally a Wenger model. See, it's got the Victorinox toothpick and tweezers. This Mountaineer doesn't have toothpick and tweezers. So yeah, you got your Victorinox can opener and you got your Victorinox awl. How about that? The bottle opener is still the Wenger. It's got that big saw. So yeah, I'd rather have this for that type of deal. So might as well go into this. This is a Vanger Junior Evo. Oh, it was a Vanger. Sorry, this is a Delamont as well. But the only thing Victorinox is probably this Phillips driver. You don't need a corkscrew for a kid's knife, but this would work for things like bushcraft, whittling, camping, hiking. Let me show it to you. You got the regular saw, 85 mil. This 85 millimeter knife, nail file, and then this main blade is rounded and dull at the end. The side is still sharp, and it's got a lock blade, so, and the half stop. Now, for a survival kit, the more room you have in your survival kit, the better. This is the Victorinox Farmer. And in the survival kit, it would go well with something like this SOG Sentai 2, because this is thin and it's a good knife. This would go well in an Altoids kit. And if you wanted a backup for that, you could use a box cutter blade. Remember, I'm not an expert, I'm just a fan. And then you can put some duct tape around a box cutter blade to have a little handle for it. So this is a 3-layer A-locks. These are 93 millimeters. It's a 3-layer, but these A-locks models are thinner than the plastic cylinder models. This A-locks 3-layer is about the same as this 2-layered with the plastic solenoid scales. How about that? So you get more room in your kits. It's the Farmer is one of the greatest Swiss Army knives of all time. It's durable because it's got the metal scales. It's sturdier. The tools have less flex. And I think with these 93 millimeter A-locks, I think all the tools are thicker, but I do know that the 93 millimeter A-locks blade is thicker. So yeah, you got your openers layer here. Got that saw. Oh, how about this? Got this reamer. Instead of coming out of the back like a regular knife, it's what do you call it? Straight drive. I don't know. It's a straight reamer. Goes straight on. No back tools on A-locks models. And I try to keep it family friendly. So I'll say if you want a knife that does things like field dressing, small game, foul, larger game in a pinch, this is the Pioneer Pruner, aka Swiss Army 2, single layer, 93 millimeter. You got your small pruning blade, you got your regular blade. And if you're worried about using used Swiss Army knives, one, there's ones from 50 years ago that are still going strong. You can buy from dealers that test them. You might want to learn how to test them yourself. And Victorinox gives a lifetime warranty on all Wenger and Victorinox, and they'll fix it for free. You just got to pay for the shipping. I've got a Evo video that I made called 11 evolution Swiss Army knives in 5 minutes. Great video. I'll try to remember to tag it in the description. When I was talking about these Evo 17s, they're actually 4-layer. And these soft touch tactiles actually have a clip point blade. How about that? All the other Evos have a the regular blade. Thanks for stopping by.